In most cities, especially urban cities, there are groups similar to ours. You know, we've been able to, through Free Minds, Free People, and through just, you know, being around for 14 years, meet some of these amazing other people in other communities who are, you know, creating youth adult partnerships and who are challenging adultism and who are really understanding that you can't sustain any real change without young people. We know that they're out there. Every community has them, and I think it's important for people who read VUE, people who are exposed to this video, that they support the things that are happening in their community. We really take the time to collaborate with people in Providence and throughout Rhode Island to make sure that we're learning from our peers and that we're doing the best job we can at, you know, supporting young people to be at the forefront of change. And we also are in the position where we really want to help other people do what we do. So we want to partner, and we hope that people see this and get exposed to Youth in Action and want to connect with us, because in the coming years, we'd like to be able to provide trainings and, you know, go into schools and teach about the best practice of supporting young people to learn differently than we've been doing for the past however long schools have been around. But also really look into the future of young people and students and making sure that they have the skills to lead their own lives and to be present in their community, not just in the future, but today, you know, making sure that they have the tools and opportunities today. And so we're really excited about that work, and we need partners. We need people to support us financially. We need people to join our team and help us move that work forward.
So one way that I feel like we could be supported is just show up to our building and get a tour. Get a tour or sit in one of our program meetings or come to a board meeting, come to a community meeting. Just make a presence in our building so that you can see what we're about. Like, it's different if you read about it on paper. Like, if you come in and personally experience like firsthand, you're gonna be amazed at what you find at Youth in Action.
And I think for me, just generally, I feel like it's just stepping outside of the box and giving all youth the chance to be heard, regardless of what they're saying or what their agenda is. If a youth comes up to you or they're in your organization or they want to be part of something bigger than they are, giving them the opportunity to just speak up, because that's what Youth in Action is about. It's just empowering youth, and I feel like we can't empower all the youth around the world. So wherever your organization may be, just listen to the youth around you and let them have a voice and show them the support that they can have a voice, because without that, then our work is kind of in vain.
Spanning off of what you all said, it's just simply making an effort, because that's the one thing that we need, is someone to support us in our endeavors. And when you make an effort at Youth in Action, especially, this is one of the biggest things. Youth in Action is addicting. We cannot leave. It's impossible. We love it to death. It's my second home. And once you get involved, it becomes something so much greater than an idea or something written down on paper. And it becomes this action and this movement. So just simply making an effort starts this whole chain reaction of what we want to do. And that's what it all comes down to, for me at least.
Definitely. I mean, I there's so many things to share, and I love that you invited people to come to our building to see, because that's the easiest way to feel what we do. We didn't mention media team, but you know, we have young people creating media on a regular basis around all these different issues in our community. And you know, one way, if people can't make it out to Providence, which everyone should, but if they can't, you know, going on our website, youthinactionri.org, and checking out some of the latest media. You know, the team is getting an award next week for the racial profiling work that they did with PRISM. And I'm just so proud of some of the creative ways that youth are finding to elevate issues and really create change. So Media Team is definitely one of those examples. It's the newest program at Youth in Action, but it's definitely making, you know, an impact and, you know, sending some waves out into the larger community.
The message I would give to a young person who wants to do what we do is just don't give up. Like, no matter how hard you think things are going, no matter how difficult the circumstances are, there's always a way that you can sit down and find someone who wants to do the same thing with you. And you guys can find another group of people who want to do it, because you can make change in numbers. And I feel like you just need to just have that motivation and that preservation and just go with it. Like, if you have a dream, if you want to get into schools, you can do it. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but with time and effort, you can definitely make a difference. And pretty much do what we're doing. Just say you made a change. Like, you did something, you should be proud of yourself, and you just started a chain reaction that is probably going to lead to some big change happening, that you should just say that you just helped to get that to happen.
I feel like it's don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. A lot of the times we as youth often feel as if, well, if I step outside these boundaries, it's past my jurisdiction as a teenager. Or I can't do this because adults won't listen to me. Or I don't have anybody supporting me. But honestly, do not be afraid to do this, because honestly, as Chris had once said, you have a support system. There's somebody else in this world who wants to do exactly what you want to do. You just haven't found them yet. So stepping outside of your comfort zone is just the first step in achieving what you want to do and where you want to go and whatever chain reaction or movement you want to start. So if you really want to make a change, just step outside and make the first step.
It's hard to be a young person. It's just hard. You know, I it was a while ago, but I was a young person once upon a time. And it was hard. It was really hard. And I think that I would say to another young person in another community who I can't support, like I support you all, that there are people who understand what you're going through, and there are people who have been through it. And, you know, you may not know who they are yet, but, you know, it's a growing community of people who want to support young people differently. Especially young people in urban communities, and to find people who went through the same neighborhoods you've been through and the same schools that you've been to is really key in that. And that's why we try to hire staff at Youth in Action who reflect you all, who look like you, who've been through your experiences. It's so key and critical. But not every young person has that. So what I would say to them is, even if it's not in your own neighborhood, reach out to us in Providence. You know, we might know of a group that's near you. Who can support you in the ways that you deserve. And just know that you have power. You know, you have power. Even if you don't feel it in that moment, you have it. And, you know, you just need an opportunity to access it. So believe that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, kind of going back to your Youth Bill of Rights, a lot of people at Fremont Street People, a lot of the youth wanted to reach out from Salt Lake City and New York and just Texas and everywhere, and they wanted to reach out and tap into what we've already made. And I feel like for a lot of young people everywhere, all they have to do is reach out. I mean, the internet, like, it's just one key to stepping out of your box and finding someone who does care, who has similar interests, who doesn't mind going with you on that journey to fulfill whatever you want to fulfill.
If you really want to do something, just do it. Just don't hold back. Just do it. Because, like we've all said, pretty much, you can do what you want. You can do what you put your mind to, and all you have to do is just have that push and just do it.
I would say that meeting Dr. Vincent Harding at Fremont Street People was pretty amazing, and it reminded me that just meeting him as, you know, a civil rights activist, and being connected to the Occupy movement, you know, like that media team captured what was happening with Occupy Providence, and to just kind of be connected to movements in general reminds me of why we do what we do, why we know that there's evidence that young people of color in particular, we know that they have this power because they've demonstrated that they have the power. You know, they've demonstrated through the civil rights movement that, you know, that wouldn't have been possible without young people. Occupy everywhere wouldn't have been possible wouldn't be possible without young people. Obama's election wouldn't have been possible without young people. And so just being reminded of that every day helps us to continue to do our work, and to hear his encouragement and to hear and see how proud he was of everyone who came together for Free Minds, Free People was just like, all right, we're doing the right thing. We're moving in the right direction. And, you know, we got to keep going.
I just want to say that as youth, you may be in a time that you feel you're alone and that you can't do something. But as Chris just said, do it. I mean, we are youth, and you may feel like because we're youth and we've been open to all these opportunities, we are not super teens. We are regular, normal teenagers. And originally there was a time when we didn't have people who were open to our ideas and open to our changes and open to our movements. So you have to step out into a place where you're going to meet opposition, and don't be discouraged just because you meet someone who may not be on board with what you want to do, but continue to push on, because that means that there will be someone you will meet that will. And eventually you'll gain momentum and you'll grow, and then you'll make a change and you'll make a movement.
And I also find that a lot of youth don't want to step up because of other youth. And they feel like, oh, it's not cool if I fight the power, or if I go against my teacher, or if I speak my own mind, my friends will judge me. And I feel like a lot of youth need to get out of that mindset and understand that, like, you're in this alone in a sense, because at the end of the day, like, you're affected directly with any situation that you're in. You're affected. Your friend might not be affected in the same way, but your friend won't always be there to guide you in things. And I feel like a lot of youth need to just step out of their own comfort zone and think for themselves, and like kind of let it register that I have to be my own helper. I have to follow my own path, and I have to stand up for what I believe in, because I feel like once a lot of youth realize that they need to care about themselves before they can care about everyone else, and kind of stop having the peer pressure coming about things that they should do or things they should say, I feel like a lot of youth will stand up and be activists and actually speak out for things that go on in their community that aren't perfect or that they don't agree with.